Good evening. I'd like to call the June 2nd, 2026 School Board Business Meeting to order. Back up. JK. All right.
Page 3. What? Page 3.
Thank you. Okay. Do I have a motion to reconvene in open session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. The board is now in open session. Madam Clerk, would you please read the resolution certifying the closed session?
Now therefore be resolved that the school board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification resolution applies, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the school board.
Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker. Aye. Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the first personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/71-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker. Aye. Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the next personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/72-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker. Aye. Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the next personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/73-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker. Aye. Jennifer Darby. Aye. Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the next personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/74-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker. Aye. Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the next personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/75-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker. Aye. Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the next personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/76-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker. Aye. Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the next personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/77-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker. Aye. Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. And now, good evening. I would like to call the June 2nd, 2026 School Board Business Meeting to order. Before we begin the meeting this evening, I'd like to thank everyone for attending this evening and remind the audience that comments to this board may be only made at the podium during the public comment period. Comments from the audience are prohibited and are in violation of Section 18.2-415 of the Code of Virginia, disorderly conduct in public places, and School Board Policy 6141. I appreciate everyone's patience and understanding so that we can conduct the business meeting in an orderly fashion. We'll now have an invocation by Ms. Chatters, followed by the flag salute led by Ms. Coker.
Before tonight's invocation, we would like to take a moment to remember a student and 2 employees who recently passed away with a moment of silence. Cameron was the kind of person who made his presence known at Falling Creek Middle School. Whether it was the classroom, the gym, the hallway, or cafeteria, he brought energy into every room he went. Many students remember first meeting him through PE class, playing basketball, and sharing his legendary trash talking. Cameron was competitive that way. Basketball was one of his greatest passions, and he loved talking about players like LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard. Cameron always brought confidence, laughter, excitement, and had a personality people gravitated towards. His friends remember his North Face clothes, hairstyle, dominance in NBA 2K, and the way he could turn any moment into something funny. Beyond the jokes and competition, what stood out most was how much Cameron valued friendship. He genuinely enjoyed being around people, building connections, and making others feel included. He created laughter and memories and moments with his friends at Falling Creek Middle School, and the staff will never forget. Jennifer Post. Jennifer Post began her career as a substitute employee with CCPS Food and Nutrition Services before accepting a full-time position in November of 2023. Jennifer truly found her place working at O.B. Gates Elementary School, where she was an important piece of the cafeteria team. Jennifer would often come in early to eat her breakfast and strike up a conversation with anyone who came into the cafeteria, to the point where some staff members would come by first thing every day just to say good morning to her. Jennifer often referred to her coworkers as family and would happily share her excitement regarding upcoming life events or come into work eager to talk about what she'd done over the weekend. Jennifer's brother told our team that they were always Jennifer's favorite topic to discuss on her visits with him. While Jennifer will truly be missed at O.B. Gates Elementary School, she will forever be remembered for the impact that she made on her coworkers and the students she served. Mark Seaman dedicated 28 years to education, inspiring generations of students as an elementary and middle school teacher. Before retiring in 2024, he taught science at Providence Middle School, where his passion for learning and gift for connecting with students left a lasting impression on all who knew him. Earlier in his career, he taught at Ettrick Elementary School, helping young learners build strong foundations for success. Known for his patience, compassion, and ability to make learning both meaningful and fun, Mr. Seaman's impact extended far beyond the classroom and will be remembered by countless students, colleagues, and families. He is survived by his wife and current CCPS educator, Shelley, and their 3 daughters, Cassie, Hope, and Ella. Please join me in a moment of silence for these 3 individuals. Thank you. For today's invocation, June brings banners bright and bold, a vibrant story to be told. With marching feet and painted face, we celebrate a human space. But pride is more than just a hue, it's learning how to hear anew. In every shade and walk of life, beyond the struggle and the strife, a richer tapestry is spun when every voice is weighted as one. For wisdom thrives in varied grace, and strength is found in every space. No single mind can hold the whole or perfectly define the soul. We need the lessons others teach, the shores that different visions reach. When all are seen and understood, we build a common, loving good. So let the rainbow proudly gleam, a testament to every dream. Embrace the spectrum, deep and wide, where varied minds and hearts reside. In every different voice we hear, we grow a future that is bright and clear.
Please join us at this time in the Pledge of Allegiance.
The consent agenda includes agenda adoption, approval of the minutes of the May 12th, 2026 work session, the May 12th, 2026 business meeting, memo number 072-26, recommended personnel actions, memo number 073-26, 2026-27, employee appointment list, memo number 074-26, FY 2026 acceptance of new grants, memo number 075-26, acceptance of donations, memo number 076-26, approval of FY 2027 internal audit plan, memo number 077-26, approval of federal entitlement programs, memo number 078-26, adoption of the 2027-28 school calendar, memo number 079-26, appointment and reappointment of members to school board advisory committees, memo number 080-26, food and nutrition services 2026-27 lunch prices, memo number 081-26, school improvement goals for federally identified as comprehensive support and improvement schools. Memo number 082-26, deed of gift for Mosley Elementary Shade Project. And nominating Elke Namola for the 2026 VSBA School Board Clerk of the Year Award. Are there any additions or corrections to the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, there are no additions or corrections to the consent agenda.
Are there any requests from a school board member to separate an item from the consent agenda for discussion and individual action?
Madam Chair, I request the nomination of the 2026 VSBA School Board Clerk of the Year be separated for discussion and individual action under action items.
Thank you. The nomination for the 2026 VSBA School Board Clerk of the Year item is moved to later this meeting under action items. Are there any other requests from a school board member to separate an item from the consent agenda for discussion and individual action? Okay, hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Pronto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Mr. Smith, would you please announce our new administrator?
Madam Chair, board members, with your actions this evening, you've approved Nick Caputo as the Director of Safety and Security effective July 1, 2026. Nick currently serves as the Division Coordinator of School Safety and Security for Lynchburg City Schools. He previously served as Special Agent for the Commonwealth of Virginia, Police Officer for the Lynchburg Police Department, Program Director for Valley Forge Military Academy and College, and a First Lieutenant Medevac Pilot for the U.S. Army. Please join me in congratulating Nick Caputo.
Next on the agenda are awards and recognitions. We begin with the recognition of staff successes presented by Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair, board members. We have 3 different staff success recognitions. We're going to start first with the visual arts teachers. They come forward this time. After we do this recognition, we'll be followed by performing arts and then gifted education. For our visual arts teachers, Ali Moriarty of Reams Road Elementary is the Elementary Art Educator of the Year. Ashley Klemick of Tomahawk Creek Middle is the Middle School Art Educator of the Year. Rachel Principe of Cliverville High School is the High School Art Educator of the Year. And Sarah Hollenbeck of Henny Elementary and Alberta Smith Elementary is the new Art Educator of the Year. Please join me in congratulating these teachers.
Congratulations to you all. It's so exciting to read all of the different things that you all are doing, both in art and outside of the classroom. Things like being a check-in and check-out mentor, even serving as the coordinator of the CCPS Visual Arts Academy in the summer. These are things outside of your traditional responsibilities. And so the four of you, the three of you up here, represent both an incredible amount of talent in art and also what you are doing for our students in and out of the classroom. So I appreciate all that you do. I will pass the mic to you if you'd like to share something inspiring that your students have done this year.
There have been so many great things to see. I think just for me overall, being a person to create a safe space for our students to create and to explore, and just have a place where they can listen to that quiet voice inside, where they takes a bit to trust that voice and grow into being an artist. So I love being a part of that. It's a pretty magical process.
I think for me, honestly, they inspire me every day. So I got into this because I had incredible art teachers in middle school and high school that really changed the course of my entire life. And so just being able to go to work every day and try to do that in some form or another for these kids is why I do what I do.
And I had the opposite. I want to be the teacher that I never had. So the connections for me is really important with my students and with my colleagues. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Next up, I've got to ask our performing arts teachers to come forward this time, and Trip Rose as well. For performing arts, our Exceptional Leadership Award went to Donald Keaton of Motoka High School. To Donald Davis of Motoka High School. The Novice Teacher Award went to Keaton Bell of Manchester Middle. Performing Arts Award went to Robin Kim of Manchester High School. For the Unsung Hero Award, there was a three-way tie. Sarah Ramsey of Thomasdale High School, Olivia Slagle of Tomahawk Creek Middle, and Kim Rose from Providence Middle. I'll note that Trip Rose is here this evening in honor of Kim Rose. Please join me in congratulating these teachers.
Well, good evening. It is an honor to share the dais with you today and such distinguished professionals as you all are, and the positive impact that you're making on our students and your colleagues. You may not realize it, but you are. One of the things I had the honor of doing before being up here with you this evening is reading a little bit about you. All good things, all good things, and why you were nominated, and things that stood out to me in regards to relationships with students, the positive impact that's being made, transforming an atmosphere at Manchester Middle, passion for choral arts, just to name a few there, have a great rapport with, as I mentioned, colleagues, willing to help wherever it might be. Ms. Slagle, I don't know if okay, so my twins went to Tomahawk Creek Middle School, and you had both of them. And so they, I know, are excited to see you up here, and so congratulations for that recognition, being in a three-way tie of the Unsung Hero Award. And then, of course, the late Kim Rose from Providence Middle. Kim was dealing with serious illness, but managed to come to work every day into November working with students despite her pain and illness. Kim didn't just come when she was sick. She diligently taught the students in front of her and prepared them for the extra events like all-county and all-district auditions. She said her favorite part of her job was helping students become more confident humans and better musicians. And I would think that would probably be able to be said about each and every one of you up here, but we greatly appreciate the contributions that you make to Chesterfield County Public Schools. So on behalf of the entire school board, congratulations for this recognition this evening. And a few words in regards to your passion behind what you do.
Well, I just love teaching band. I think it's an amazing thing. As teaching middle school, they don't know how to open their case. They don't know which wind to blow into. And so it's an exciting thing to go from such a beginner moment to playing and reading little dots on lines and making that a really cool musical moment.
I have to go after Olivia. I just think that it's really important what we do and that the kids are the reason we go to school every day, especially for me. I love working at Dale, and I love the students I teach.
For me, it's just seeing the kids grow. I grew up very insecure, I teach speech and drama, so to have them help find themselves at a young age is just very rewarding for me.
I heard someone say recently, if you figure out your why, it makes any how a little more possible or a little more bearable. And I just think kids are the coolest, and the fact that music gets to be the vessel that leads our way to, beautiful moments is just really special. So I'm just grateful that I found my why, and I get to go every single day to work.
Yeah, I'm probably the same as most everybody up here. One of the best parts of what we do is getting to see students after the performances. And this year, some incredibly memorable performances for our students, including playing for the State Board of Education, then also for the governor, and then going to the governor's mansion and meeting the governor. Kids still talking about it weeks later. I also have the joy of having my own children come through my program and being able to teach them. So what a joy that I get to spend time at work with my kids as well. But they're all my kids. They're all part of my family. My wife will tell you all the time, we can't go anywhere without seeing somebody that we know. And that is always the case. I love it. Sometimes she's like, hey, it's time to go. But on the other hand, I love running into people all over the place. It's been a great joy of teaching at Matoka for all this time, and I hope to do it for a long time to come.
I'm the only non-teacher in here. Up here. I'm Kim Rose's brother, and I'm accepting the award on her behalf.
We do have a small gift for you as you exit. What would this be? Stage right. Stage right. Absolutely. All right. Congratulations.
Next up, we have our gifted education teachers. So I could ask Megan and Amy to come forward this time.
I'm gonna give you this now. And Amy's coming. No, Amy's coming.
For our gifted education recognition, Margaret Christian Elementary teacher Megan Colpo is the 2026 Elementary Outstanding Teacher of the Gifted, and Manchester Middle School teacher Amy Zombron is a 2026 Secondary Outstanding Teacher of the Gifted. Additionally, she has been selected as the Region 1 Outstanding Teacher of the Gifted by the Virginia Association for the Gifted. Please join me in congratulating these two teachers.
So I have the honor of reading a little bit about you both. So let's start with you, Megan. It says you joined Chesterfield County Public Schools in 2011, and the parent who nominated you wrote, "Her work with my children has been transformative. Megan just gets my kids in a way most people don't. She quickly recognizes how each child learns and adapts her approach to meet them where they are. My twins would not feel safe anywhere else but in Miss Megan's classroom. She notices the little wins, and I don't think people realize how big those really are. And then for you, Miss Zombron, a member of Manchester Middle School since 2016, your principal wrote about you. Amy understands that her impact goes far beyond her gifted students. She views all students at Manchester as part of the population she serves. Her deep commitment to collaboration ensures that all students benefit from her expertise as she works closely with colleagues in both comprehensive English and with special education teachers. And as a parent who had you 2 times with my 2 high school students, I will say that the way you push them and challenge them, the impact is resonating. Both of my kids are doing really well, and they attribute some of that to the push that you gave them in school, and I just appreciate what gifted services we're offering and the teachers who are working with our gifted students. So I am grateful to both of you, and same as my colleagues, what is the best part about what you're doing?
I think it's that not only do we get to work with such intelligent, fascinating kids, but meeting them where their needs are, and their social emotional needs are vastly different from child to child. So rising and meeting them where they are is really rewarding.
I think to capitalize on what Megan said, in addition to the kids, it's the staff that we work with. I have a great team at Manchester, and we collaborate on a lot of really fun projects, a lot of hands-on things that the kids get very excited about doing. So I think that plays a big part in what we're able to do with our kids.
Let's give them one more hand.
Next, we have celebrating our partners from Mr. Smith.
If I could ask our friends with and those representing Girls on the Run to come forward at this time. Tonight, we recognize Girls on the Run, a nonprofit that has been active in Chesterfield County Public Schools for almost 2 decades, inspiring girls to recognize their inner strength, increase their physical activity, and imagine their possibilities. Girls on the Run puts life skills at the heart of its research-based programs and trains volunteers to lead lessons that blend physical activity with life skill development. In the 25-26 school year alone, 560 girls were served by 125 volunteers across 33 school teams. Please join me in congratulating and recognizing Girls on the Run.
Thank you all so much for everything that you're doing to pour into our students, specifically our ladies, and introducing them to a love of running. Not many people enjoy that exercise, but to have that be something that they get exposed to at a young age, hopefully it's something that they will continue in years to come. And what better way than just getting out there and having a good time and learning along the way. So I'm trying, okay, that's what thank you. So little treats in there for everybody. But if you'd like to just share like what got you inspired by Girls on the Run and then to join with CCPS.
Well, thank you all so much. My name is Catherine Estevez. I'm the Executive Director of Girls on the Run of Greater Richmond, and my 2 children, ages 4 and 6, are here with me today too. So I joined the organization in 2021. I've been a lifelong runner. I'm one of the few that like running, but really what has brought me to this mission, I previously worked with communities and schools, and that connection inside and outside of the school building are so important for our kids. And so when I found Girls on the Run, it really felt like an amazing, combination for me personally about what I wanted to inspire in the world. And it really is a true partnership with the school community, whether it's principals or those hundreds of volunteers, or often teachers or counselors, parents in the school community who are dedicated to pouring into our young people. And actually, if I can, share the mic with one of our amazing coaches and actually a Girls on the Run parent who can really speak to the test and have a testament to the impact of the program on her and her children's lives.
Thank you. My name is Carrie Ford, and I am not only a Goder coach, I'm also an educator at Curtis Elementary. And unlike Catherine, who has future Goder girls, I have girls with me tonight, my own 2 youngest daughters, who have participated in Goder. What got me there initially was my rising 7th grader who participated in 3rd grade, and I saw the benefits. Yes, running is a big part. We all get that. However, what you don't see are the life lessons that these girls take away, every single lesson. And not only how to do life themselves, but how to do life together as ladies, which can be overwhelmingly challenging for our young ladies in this day and age. Where do I fit in? How do I move those mountains? How do I recognize my star power? We learn all of those things and all of those lessons, and I am a Goder coach for life. So thank you for implementing this in the schools.
Thank you all. Anybody else like to share a few words before? Okay. Thank y'all very much. Thank you. Oh, give her a hug for me. Thank you.
Next, we have recognition of outstanding driver performance from Dr. Fry.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Mr. Roberts. It's my pleasure this evening to present to you our Drivers of the Month for May. There are many bus drivers who could be recognized this month, but each transportation area manager had to make the tough decision of selecting a single driver who exemplified excellence and dedication to represent their area. We'd like to recognize and honor the following bus drivers. Kiana Clark, Area 1, Bus 113, 3 years of service. Kiana comes to work each day ready to provide safe and reliable service for her students and the entire team. She consistently steps in to help cover additional routes, assist with late day programs, and ensures all students remain safe. Nakia Bevier, Area 2, Bus 904, 1 year of service. He's not able to be here today, and his area manager, Ms. Jeffers, will accept that for him. Nakia says he enjoys hearing the kids' laughter and seeing their smiles. He says he enjoys helping them along the way, and if his counseling and care for them changes one student's life, he is happy. Laura Foss, Area 3, Bus 121, 4 months of service. Laura's manager says she consistently demonstrates a positive attitude and strong work ethic. Her commitment to excellence and daily contributions make her a valuable member of team transportation. Amy Mason, Area 4, Bus 679, 1 year of service. Amy has been a wonderful addition to team transportation and always offers to help. Amy's area office appreciates her dedication to students and how she contributes to the success of the entire department. And her manager, Jennifer, will accept her award. Michelle Germond, Area 5, Bus 356, 8 months of service. Michelle says she appreciates working in Area 5. She not only carries the kids back and forth to school, but also cares for them daily. Thank you.
Can we give them all, please, a round of applause? one of the things about being on the school board that I thoroughly enjoy is recognizing the top talent, all talent that we have, whether it's our students, our teachers, our support staff, our folks in nutrition services, our bus drivers. Because we know as parents that you are the first that our kid sees and the last at the end of the day. So you know all the things going on in all the households because they say everything about anything. And on top of just mentoring them and partnering with us as families, you're also tasked with a very difficult job of being safe on the road. And so, I've driven the bus on a closed course. Okay, no kids, right? It takes talent. It takes talent, and you have to, have your eyes on the road, have your eyes in the back of your head with all these kids you got on the bus and the different grade levels, and they all bring different challenges in and of itself. But at the end of the day, what you do makes a huge difference for all of us. And so on behalf of the Chesterfield County School Board, thank you so very much. And this honor here this evening is very, very well deserved. So with that being said, a few words you'd like to share in regards to your passion being a bus driver? Don't have to if you can.
I take pride in driving for SPED, Area 5. Every morning before I start my day, I thank God and I ask Him to ride with me because it's very important that I stay focused and that I share a calm and meek spirit with the children. As he just said, I'm the first one that they see and the last one that they see at the end of the day. So I welcome them, and whatever issues they may have, I give them their space and meet them where they are. And Area 5 is a good place to represent those things because each child is different. Thank you.
I'm accepting on behalf of Amy. And Amy is just wonderful. She came to us from a different location as a dedicated military spouse. And she told me that when she first started with us last year, that at her previous district, she was driver of the month at one point, and that she strived so hard to be a driver of the month here with Chesterfield. And she's made such an impact with all of her students, and I think it's just wonderful that she's shown dedication to every single person she's come across. So,
with only being in the Chesterfield County area for a short period of time, it has been really enjoyable, and I just enjoy getting to see the kids and making sure that they're to and from school every day safely. As a parent, it's one of those things, knowing who's with your kids all day long is very important.
I'm accepting on behalf of Nakia. Nakia is a great employee. He not only does a great job with all the students while he's driving, but when the snow was coming down, he volunteered to go out and clear off all of his peers' buses so that they didn't have all of that. And he's not here tonight because he planned his vacation so he wouldn't miss any work, which I appreciate as well. So I will gladly accept this for him so that he can go on vacation when he doesn't have to transport students.
Okay, thank you. I work out of Area 1. I want to say thank you to my supervisors, managers. I love Area 1. I've been there for over 3 years now. That's the only area I worked in, but I just want to say I enjoy my job. I enjoy the children. I try to make sure safety is the first thing that we, maintain on the bus. But also, like, getting to know the kids and just being there for them and just becoming family with them. That's really important to me. It's not just about driving them to school and to home. I try to make them feel, happy, safe, and that I'm there for them whenever they need me, just besides giving them a ride. So, I really enjoy my job, and I just, I thank all of you also for just we're team working, so we all try to be there for one another. In my area, we try to look out for one another also as bus drivers. So that's it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you and congratulations to all of tonight's honorees. Next, we have public comment. For this meeting, citizens were given the option of submitting their comments online or in person. Comments submitted via the online form were sent to the board prior to the start of tonight's meeting, posted to the board doc site, and will be included in full as an addendum to the meeting minutes. In-person comments will be summarized by the board clerk, included in the official meeting minutes. Documents submitted along with in-person comments will, upon request, be distributed to the board but not included as part of the board's official minutes. Madam Clerk, would you please announce this evening's in-person speakers?
Madam Chair, we have 12 speakers this evening. They are Todd Francis, Rob Hamill, Will Unger, Amber Rhodes, Jonathan Marine, Angela McDaniel, Taylor Butler, Emily Mattis, Linnea McGraw, Amaya Stokes, Wendy Little, and Yulia Strackbein. Each speaker will have 4 minutes to address the board. There's a timer set up on top of the podium that will turn green when you begin speaking, yellow when you have 30 seconds remaining, and red when your time has expired. As a reminder, no personal belongings other than a cell phone and speaker notes are allowed at the podium. Please ensure all materials are organized before approaching the podium. Your speaking time will begin as soon as you arrive at the podium, so you should be prepared to begin your remarks immediately. Please note that comments equivalent to campaigning for any public office are in violation of School Board Policy 1110 and are prohibited. May we have Todd Francis.
Good evening, board members. All right, my name is Todd Francis, and I'm here today as a parent who's frustrated, who's heartbroken, and I'm demanding accountability from the board. So I want to ask the board a question. My first question is, how does one of the top content creators who's recognized by Google, you can Google him right now, who creates his own sports content and who is consistent in leading his genre in sports, who's also been recognized by two-time NBA star Steve Nash as one of the most up-and-coming players for 13-year-olds. And this is when he was the current coach for the Brooklyn Nets. How does that student who had a love for education move from New York, come here, and fail all his classes? Every last one. And I'm gonna tell you how. How that happened was because there was a lack of leadership at the school that he attended. My son he's extremely gifted, very bright. He came here from the Battery Park City School, which is by Wall Street, by the Bull. And he came here with a love for education, okay? With a lifelong, we instilled that, my wife and I instilled that in him, okay? How does he come here and does not even want to attend school? Well, the answer to that question is police report number PO 2511110503. And let me tell you a little bit about that police report. So he came here, wanted to make new friends. He came here with the open heart, just trying to fit in, right? And I want to say this too, my son is high performing. He's on the spectrum, on the autism spectrum. So he does things and he's a high thinker. He organizes his thoughts. He doesn't just rush into anything. So my son, he came here and had an incident where Chesterfield County Police was involved with multiple students bullying him, okay? And it wasn't addressed properly. Now, I can say this, that it wasn't addressed properly because I understand, because I'm a former education administrator for the city of New York, okay, for the Industry Scholars Program, ISP, and I happen to manage some of the best schools in the country, blue ribbon schools, okay? So I can talk to you about LaGuardia, for the School for the Performing Arts. I can talk to you about Mega Evers and Dr. Michael Wilshire, who has sent more students to to college in New York City than any other school. And these are really high achieving schools. So I know the difference and I understand what great leadership looks like in a school, within a school setting. But when you can't control what happens in the school, guess what happens? The students don't feel comfortable going to school. Guess what happens? That same student that Google recognizes, you can look up CFRAN 2222 and just Google him. And they recognize his channel as one of the fastest growing content channels in the world. That's how brilliant my son is. Okay, so he came here. Students picked on him, students bullied him. The education administrators that should have actually handled the situation much differently failed him. Okay, they failed him. And I can speak on this because, again, I understand what great schools look like and what they should be.
Thank you, Mr. Francis.
Thank you. I just want to say this too.
Thank you,
I'll
Mr.
have,
Francis.
An email for each and every last one to follow.
May we have Rob Hamill? Good evening, school board members, colleagues, and friends. My name is Rob Hamill, and I am the president of your Chesterfield Education Association. We've made it to the end of another school year. The graduations are done, and the kids are ready to move on to the next adventure. May was a big month for CEA. We added 25 new members during our early enrollment period. While we did not offer a May CPR class, we are holding one next week, and it is full. We will continue to talk to our members about classes and services that might be useful to them in the next school year. Now, for the last 2 months, we have asked the school board and CCPS administration to keep Bellwood's contract renewal dates on July 1st. This would have avoided a gap in pay or a loss of income in the 26-27 school year. CCPS has denied that request. It's important to note once again that CCPS created this problem with Bellwood's contracts. When CCPS transitioned Bellwood to a year-round school in 2017, HR moved the start date of the staff's contracts from August 1st to July 1st. They made that change even though they knew that the 12-month calendar was an experiment. They might need to change that contract date back to August 1st. And they knew what the consequences would be, and they went ahead with this irresponsible decision anyway. And now our staff at Bellwood are missing a month of pay while the rest of us are ready to enjoy summer vacation. While CCPS may have expected us to accept this decision and move on, our representative council chose to act. On May 19th, the representative council voted to use existing CEA funds to match the July 15th bonus that CCPS is offering to Bellwood staff. Since the staff will see about $900 of that bonus after taxes, the Rep Council voted to give each member at Bellwood a one-time hardship payment of $900. While the bonus offered by CCPS is helpful to Bellwood staff, it will not cover their bills in July. Our Rep Council has made our priorities clear. When the system lets us down, we stand up for each other. This hardship fund will make up for some of the impact of CCPS's reckless contract decisions. CEA does not have negotiating authority on behalf of CCPS employees. This board and administration have made no attempt to negotiate with the staff collectively, either through a collective bargaining agreement or a formalized meet and confer procedure. In the absence of any such opportunities, our main tactics for forcing change are the media and the ballot box. I suggest that this body spend some time over the summer deliberating whether they would prefer to negotiate with their staff in a boardroom or in the pages of the newspaper. Thank you for this opportunity to speak on behalf of the Chesterfield Education Association. Thank you, Mr. Hamill. May we have Will Unger?
Hello, my name is Will Unger, and I just completed 6th grade in the CBG Academy at Midlothian Middle. I am a wheelchair user at my school, and a few small changes here would make a really big difference for me and anyone else who needs to access the school and has any physical limitations. The American Disabilities Act underscores my right to these changes.
Ideally, the entire school would be wheelchair accessible, as there is no elevator to access the entire second floor. But these smaller incremental changes could be made soon, relatively easily, and without major structural changes. First, and most impactful for me, is an unsupervised access for me and other students to use the stair lifts at school. Waiting and needing an adult to operate the lift has caused me many delays and is an inconvenience to teachers and aides who have to stop what they are doing to simply push a button to operate the lift. This has added a lot of stress to school days for me and has been a real source of frustration. Maybe a test or assessment could be offered to allow students to sort of earn this access. Proven knowledge and a plan would make this a safe and effective change. Another issue that could easily be addressed is to add more curb ramps outside the building. I have to always track down and pay attention to the location of the 3 ramps that allow wheelchairs onto the sidewalk, and they are almost always blocked. This is an issue often when PE class heads outside, and is just another thing I have kind of have to dread more in my days at school. I'll admit, sometimes I've wished I could bring a jackhammer to make a little DIY ramp. But if the Chesterfield County could just add a few more, I could see myself not wishing for that jackhammer in the future. Finally, another attainable change, one that would make my social life for the better at the school, is more options for wheelchair seating in the cafeteria. Currently, I have to drive to the ends of the lunch table, and no friends can sit directly next to me because I'm blocking those seats. Naturally, I have a lot of friends I want to sit with, and when I roll into lunch, it would make a big difference to have easier seating. I've seen this at other schools, and I know great tables exist that could provide a solution. I now pass the microphone on to my mom to...
Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to close it out for Will. Thanks for the opportunity to speak to you guys tonight. It is hard to believe that a person Will's age, born in 2013, 12 and a half years old, attending 6th grade in 2026, would be facing so many accessibility challenges. Sorry, did I turn that off somehow? No. In a public school in a large county in Virginia. After all, the civil rights movement was nearly 65 years ago, and the Americans with Disabilities Act passed and was enacted into law nearly 40 years ago. Will is a patriotic American kid who is proud of our country and appreciates all that our country has to offer for him, and that we have the rights for everybody. The experience of having to fight for kind of these relatively basic rights for someone with that uses a wheelchair in a public school, and anyone with physical limitations at our large, well-funded public school has been disheartening, to say the least. Will would like to thank, and our whole family would like to thank Dr. Hayes and all the teachers for the effort in making the best of a tricky building for Will, and all of their work, including changing classes and so forth, to enable him to have access to everything that he needs and help him. So we're very grateful for that. I know that Will knows that these specific changes are possible within the near future, and these would make his school a better place for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. May we have Amber Rhodes?
Good evening. My name is Amber Rhodes. I'm a former teacher and current CCPS parent. I come to you on behalf of 1,000 parents, grandparents, teachers, and community members who signed a petition for the intentional use of technology in our schools. We created it on May 11th, and it reached 1,000 signatures in just over 2 weeks from all 5 districts, 58 schools, and every grade level. To each of you, these are your families. Ms. Hudgens, 466 came from Midlothian. Dr. Darby and Mr. Peranto, every school in Matoaka and Clover Hill has a family on this list. Ms. Coker and Ms. Chatters, 19 schools in Bermuda and Dale are signing on too, and that number grows every day.
I asked our signers to share their stories, and in 12 hours, 65 wrote back. Parents, teachers, a school counselor, a pediatrician, and families who left CCPS over how technology is used in classrooms. Their words are in the binder that I'm leaving with each of you tonight. One parent whose child is now in private school wrote that the decision to leave CCPS was in no small part because of classroom screen time, and that what's developmentally appropriate shouldn't be a privilege only for families who can afford to leave. The research is specific. A 2024 study in Frontiers in Psychology found that handwriting, not typing, builds the brain networks tied to learning and memory. And in Jared Cooney Horvath's review, The Digital Delusion, the average EdTech program shows a learning effect of about 0.3. A teacher giving live instruction is roughly twice that. In small group work with peers, nearly 4 times as high. The most powerful tool in any classroom is not a device, it is a teacher. That's why this spring, the U.S. Surgeon General urged schools back toward textbooks and paper, and the National Teachers Union, the American Federation of Teachers, 1.8 million educators, launched a plan they called Devices Down, Eyes Up, Hands On, asking for screen-free classrooms through 2nd grade. When the teachers themselves are asking for this, you know it's not a complaint about them, it is a call to support them. You don't have to wait for a policy vote. Tonight, you and Dr. Murray already have the authority to do 5 concrete things. 1, stop issuing personal devices in pre-K through 2nd grade. Shared carts used only for required testing. 2, block YouTube, gaming, and social media on student accounts, a settings change that takes days. 3, ban screens during unstructured time. Recess, lunch, center time, and passing periods, when students should be with peers, not screens. It is our most requested fix. Provide ongoing professional learning for staff at every level, not just teachers, on how screens affect children and what developmentally appropriate technology looks like, and how to tell whether a tool truly enhances learning. Encourage hands-on real-world learning that builds collaboration, communication, and critical thinking over screens, and make paper the default for homework. And 5, turn on weekly parent screen time reports and create an EdTech review committee with parents and teachers to vet platforms against independent evidence, not vendor claims. Start with the platforms already in our classrooms, analyze their use and how they're marketed to teachers by the district and the vendors. And where technology dollars aren't delivering, reallocate them to more support staff, better teacher pay, and the hands-on resources that actually move learning. LAUSD, the nation's 2nd largest district, has shown it can be done. Over 1,000 Chesterfield families from every district are asking you to do the same. We're not asking you to study it or to start thinking about it. We're asking you to act. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Rhodes. May we have Jonathan Mayring? After Jonathan is Angela McDaniel.
Good evening, board members. I was fine, not nervous until now, but see how this goes. My son is a rising, my name is Jonathan Mayring. My son is a rising 1st grader at Crestwood Elementary. When I asked him this morning what he's most looking forward to next year in 1st grade, he said playing video games on his school-issued Chromebook. He didn't say seeing his friends or playing on the playground or his favorite subject, art class. He'd rather look at the backlit screen with dopamine hits. A big part of the reason that I'm here is fear of what is to come. As Amber mentioned, the recent studies have shown the clear connection between EdTech learning and dropping test scores nationwide. I am asking the board to remove screen learning entirely for K through 2 and implement a well-structured and limited policy for screen learning from 3rd grade on. Thank you.
Thank you. May we have Angela McDaniel?
Good evening. My name is Angela McDaniel. I'm here as a parent. I have 2 daughters. They're pretty cool kiddos. They are absolutely the best, and they have an amazing aptitude for learning. They're 2 years old and 4 years old.
We're currently zoned for Woolridge Elementary, and I'm here to learn a lot tonight about how our school districts approach technology in the classroom, as I have several critical concerns to address before making a final decision about where the girls go to kindergarten and elementary school. About a year ago this week, we were living in Tampa, Florida, in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square foot starter home that was in an average school district. We felt like we were throwing away our property tax dollars, knowing we were never going to send our kids to public school there. Both my husband and I love learning. We are educated, we're successful in our careers. My husband's a CRNA at St. Francis now, and I have over 20 years experience in leadership at the public sector, mental health IT, and educational IT companies. We decided that to give the best and brightest future to our daughters, it was time to leave Florida for me to consider being a stay-at-home mom until both girls are settled into elementary school with a good routine, because early childhood education is so critically important. We feel very lucky to have found our dream home here in Moseley, Virginia. We heard this part of the country holds education in the highest regard and in general has a family-focused culture like no other. Well, you still let kids be kids. From the day we moved in, we've experienced even more than we ever expected. Our oldest goes to Goddard 3 half days a week and spends her other days playing, learning, and growing with her neighborhood friends and our extended family. I feel like we've met some of the coolest, most resourceful people and absolutely love the culture here. The word thriving doesn't do it justice to describe how these girls are flourishing overnight. A few weeks ago, I saw a petition go around about technology extraction in the classroom, and my heart absolutely sank. It felt like the shoe finally dropped. Our family values technology as a limited tool, but never would I think that a school district like ours would put devices and all the expectations around those on teachers and children at such a young age, especially without a strong standardization of how it's implemented without harm. I started asking questions and realized that almost everybody on my street actually homeschools. I've counted 20+ kids in the neighborhood. They're all homeschooled. Literally every one of those families said it's because of the use and misuse of technology in the classroom starting at the age of 5. I've asked more and more families who have children in public versus private school in the area, and at this time I don't feel comfortable sending my girls to Chesterfield Public Schools until there are sweeping changes around the use of technology as an instrument of learning. Everything I've seen says screens are bad. My pediatrician says screens are bad. Most educators I've spoken to say screens are bad, and learning that it's used in classrooms in kindergarten makes me feel like I'm going to be forced to decide to keep my kid home for a few more years to squeak out hands-on education until they're subjected to Chromebooks and all the social, emotional, physical, and mental downsides that come with that, if it even ends up sending our kids there at all. If I could, I'd like to ask that the school board be a leader in the country like your reputation precedes you, and restructure a comprehensive technology extraction and use plan specific to each grade level, starting with removing all digital devices from kindergarten before the next school year. It feels like low-hanging fruit and the best way to show progress as we all work together as a community to define the best way forward. I thank you so much for your hard work every day, and I trust you'll maximize the healthiest and happiest way forward for our kids. Thank you, Ms. McDaniel. May we have Taylor Butler?
Good evening. My name is Taylor Butler, and I have a rising kindergartner in the Woolridge Elementary District. What I want to address today is a problem within a problem, the problem that we have brought before you today with our discomfort with too much technology in the classroom, but also a potential problem with faculty burnout regarding this issue. I recently had the opportunity to speak with a CCPS faculty member regarding this topic, to which she responded, "I love the petition, but nothing will come out of it. The district has already spent too much of the budget on this technology." I then asked, if the district sees that parents are pulling their children out of the public school system and opting for homeschooling or private school due to this issue, do they even care? The faculty member responded by saying, "Public education is the bare minimum, and we can't meet everyone's needs. If you are able to have your needs met by homeschooling or private schooling, good for you." Hearing that broke my heart. Not because I believe that faculty member doesn't care, but because I believe those words reflect a sense of resignation, a feeling that decisions have already been made, that concerns will not be heard, and that neither teachers nor parents have the power to change the course. That is the real problem within this problem. When parents raise concerns about excessive screen time, we are not attacking our schools. We are advocating for our children.
And when teachers quietly express frustration, they are not attacking the district. They are advocating for their students. We all want the same thing: classrooms where children are engaged, curious, learning, building meaningful relationships with their teachers and their peers. My child is about to enter kindergarten. When I picture that experience, I don't imagine a screen at the centerpiece. I imagine story time on the carpet, strengthening his writing skills with pencil and paper, building with blocks, asking questions, making friends, and looking into the face of educators who inspire him. Those experiences are not outdated. They're foundational. Technology certainly has a place in education, but it should be a tool, not the default. And when parents and educators are both expressing concern that the balance has shifted too far, I believe that deserves thoughtful consideration. Tonight, I am asking you to listen, not only to parents standing before you, but also to the teachers who may not feel comfortable standing here themselves. Listen to the families who chose public education because they believe in it. Listen to the children who cannot be here to speak for themselves. Please take a serious look at reducing screen time in our classrooms and restoring a healthier balance between technology and hands-on learning. Our children deserve it. Our teachers deserve it. And our public schools are strongest when families and educators feel heard, valued, and confident that their concerns matter. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Butler. May we have Emily Mattis?
That was a great speech. Good evening, members of the school board. My name is Emily Matus. I have a rising 6th grade student that will attend Midlothian Middle and rising 4th and 2nd grade students that attend Gordon Elementary. I'm speaking tonight to urge this board to reevaluate our district's relationship with technology by systematically reducing or altogether eliminating individual Chromebook use in our classrooms. Device integration was sold as a revolutionary bridge to engagement. Today, the evidence is undeniable. It has become a barrier to learning. Classrooms have become saturated with screens, forcing our under-resourced teachers to battle against constant digital distractions. Children are savvy at pushing boundaries. Many have figured out what a proxy website is, or how to bypass HAPARA so teachers cannot see their screens. Our reliance on classroom screens is actively harming academic achievement. This information isn't news. We've all heard the data. The National Institutes of Health conducted the Adolescent Brain Cognitive Development Study. Their research is the largest long-term study of brain development and child health in the United States. Their data states that early and frequent exposure to screens may cause developmental issues and poorer language outcomes. Excessive screen time may lead to poorer educational outcomes and progress. Mental health and behavioral declines are associated with screen time. Some reports suggest that 55% of American students spend between 1 and 4 hours of class time on screens, and 27% spend 5 or more hours. Test scores for students in grades K through 12 are lower than they were a decade ago in school districts across the U.S., according to new data released in May 2026 by the Educational Opportunity Project at Stanford University. Reading scores were down roughly 0.6 grades in 2025 compared to 2015, and math scores were down about 0.4 grades. This means that students were 60% of one school year behind where their peers were in reading a decade earlier and 40% of one school year behind in math. We are asking our kids' developing minds to stare at glowing boxes for nearly the entire school day. Neurological research confirms that handwriting activates unique reading and comprehension networks in the brain. Typing on a Chromebook only activates muscle memory, leading to shallow retention and cognitive overload. Obviously, some of these studies also factor in screen time outside of school. However, why add to the problem when the facts that Chromebooks aren't aiding in our children's education? What are we even doing? To solve this,
We do not need to be anti-technology. We need to be pro-childhood. When we hand a third grader a Chromebook for the entire day, it is the equivalent of handing them the keys to a car before they can reach the pedals. It is bad pedagogy, and it is a disservice to our educators. I am asking this board to join the growing coalition of school districts nationwide that are implementing a digital reckoning. Virginia Beach, Shenandoah County, and Arlington County Public Schools are just a few Virginia school boards to take action. I urge the board and superintendent to take immediate action, as this is a safety issue that requires immediate attention. Let us scale back. Let us return to physical textbooks, paper notebooks, and face-to-face instruction. Let's give our teachers their classrooms back and give our children the screen-free, focused education they deserve. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Matus. May we have Linnea McGaw?
Good evening. My name is Linnea McGaw, and I have a soon-to-be second grader at Winter Park Elementary. I'm here to advocate for my daughter and the other kids at our Chesterfield County School District. I would like to urgently ask the school board to remove screens for K through second grade with limited screen time for future grades. I would also like to promote greater use of physical textbooks and off-screen homework. I can tell the difference when my daughter has had too much screen time. Her mood and demeanor changes dramatically in the wrong direction. We are substituting technology for physical hands-on learning and creating. I'm aware of the high cost of physical books, but there is value in holding a book. There is value in writing on a piece of paper. There is value being skilled at figuring out a problem on paper rather than assistance from a computer. As technologies such as AI become increasingly widespread, the more profound the need to teach our kids to use their reasoning skills, imagination, and social capabilities. My prayer for you all is wisdom and discernment for this and other topics that come across your desk, as I am sure they are very weighty at times. I ask for your continued partnership with parents to consider the impacts of unbridled screen time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McGaw. May we have Amaya Stokes?
Good evening, Dr. Murray and members of the board. My name is Amaya Stokes. I'm an early education teacher at the Goddard School, and I'm here speaking on my individual capacity as a teacher and a former student. I want to start by saying that I am not anti-technology. Computers can be an extremely powerful learning tool when used correctly. In my classroom, and I'm sure most of you can relate, I'm asked about 100 questions every day that I don't know the answer to. That's when I turn to computers. When we're learning about new topics like Kwanzaa, Diwali, crop rotation, or even if peppers are considered fruits, that's when I turn to technology for help. In my classroom of future kindergartners, we do not rely on technology to teach our students. By eliminating this, I feel as though my students are extremely well-adjusted and honestly mature for their age. We have meaningful conversations and class discussions that allow kids in my class to have a greater understanding of the educational material being taught. Technology can be helpful when encouraging children to think creatively or by helping develop early learning and reading skills, but overuse of technology will have long-lasting negative effects on their cognitive development, language development, and their social-emotional development. An increase in screen time directly correlates to a decrease in academic performance, a 7% decrease in participation, and a 6% decrease in math skills. Early years of childhood are crucial for language development, but by not restricting screen time, we're depriving our kids of quality interactions necessary for them to grow and develop those language skills. And now I speak as a former student. I remember when we first started getting Chromebooks in 2014, my freshman year of high school, and they were cool at first, but over time, I just saw my classmates destroy school property for fun. They would throw them, they would rip them apart, they would hit each other with them, they'd break the case that they came in, they would jailbreak them, download VPNs just to access restricted website, and people would come to school with their assignments still missing, even though it was on Google Classroom already. But I'm asking the board to adopt a comprehensive screen time policy that gives teachers the structure we actually need. Firstly, by eliminating devices pre-K through second grade classrooms, except for mandated assessments. Secondly, set specific enforceable screen time limits by grade level so that screen time is prioritized only when it proves educational value cannot be replicated offline. Third, transition 3rd through 5th grade away from one-to-one devices and back to shared laptop carts and computer labs, so we use screens when they help and not by default. Fourthly, block YouTube, social media, and non-instructional gaming platforms on district devices during the school day while preserving to teachers' abilities to use appropriate video for instruction. And lastly, please require an independent review of every EdTech product the district contracts for. We should not be evaluating EdTech based on vendor marketing. The Los Angeles Unified School District passed a resolution earlier this year doing these exact things. Many other districts have followed. Chesterfield's teachers and students deserve the same intentional framework. Thank you for your service to our community.
Thank you, Ms. Stokes. Our next speaker, Wendy Little, and then the last speaker after her is Julia Strackbein.
Hello, my name is Wendy Little, as everybody across the country knows, and it's unconscionable that a school division with the budget that you have can't figure out how to pay the teachers. I mean, come on, like, fix it. At any rate, I found it very interesting that Clover Hill student received a nice recognition for rule of law. The same high school that Aaron Little should have been graduating from this year had anybody ever complied with the state complaint and the appeal, which I won the burden of proof twice for him. He was supposed to go from a private day school that was undereducating him with proof to Dr. Murray, Dr. Pope, so they agreed we will allow him to repeat 8th grade only if he goes to public school. Of course, never happened. So he's still without an 8th grade education, despite burden of proof twice. So, at any rate, it's hard to know even what else to say, but for the public, some of those extra grants for the schools needing improvement, those are proof of violations of ESSA, which is not surprising. And also furthermore, so I'm going to read portions of a letter. Like everybody all over the country has been involved in, what the hell is Chesterfield County Public Schools doing not being able to get a kid into public school and actually fix the problem? May 22nd, 2025, Senator Barbara Favola. Does anybody know she's the chair of the Education Committee? She's also on Finance and Appropriations. May 22nd, 2025, she wrote in, I am writing to urge VDOE, the Board of Education, to step in to help resolve the ongoing Aaron Little dispute with Chesterfield County Public Schools. As you are aware, despite VDOE previously issuing corrective actions, the conflict has dragged on for 3 years. Unconscionable. Jay Jones just said that, remember? So, she expected that the Department of Education, the Board of Education, would resolve with Chesterfield Superintendent, because she's state level, right? And that the Board of Education would report on the resolution of the matter by July 2025. I was told that Dr. Murray got this letter So why didn't that happen before he turned 18? So now where we are is instead of any education, it's character assassination. Part of that was started by Mr. Martin Darby, who said, Mommy just wants him to stay in 8th grade, which was untrue. And that's still sitting in his IEPs. Also, refusal to acknowledge a state complaint and the appeal, and refusal to do compensatory education still. And they're blaming him by character assassination, saying, oh, we don't know why he hasn't been in school, because you have to provide him compensatory education and a pathway to move forward in the first place. You don't put a kindergartner in an 8th grade class. You don't put an 8th grader in a kindergarten class. Without that pathway, there hasn't been a way for him to move forward. It is unconscionable. It is still unconscionable, and y'all can just keep on violating your grants. I don't care. I don't care if you lose your grants. You can't get them back until you're in fully compliance, but character assassination on an innocent young man that's not education or FAPE or anything else. This is unconscionable.
Thank you, Ms. Little. May we have Julia Strackbein?
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Julia Strackbein. I'm a mother of a rising kindergarten student in Chesterfield County Public Schools, a practicing psychiatrist with fellowship training in child and adolescent psychiatry, and a product of the public school system. I'm here to speak to you today about the role of technology in our classroom. In my professional capacity, I have seen young patients struggle to maintain focus when Chromebooks are used in the classroom. Even when parents raise concerns, there's often no meaningful alternative available. For young people whose brains are still developing, and especially for my patients vulnerable to attention and behavioral challenges, the distractions offered by Chromebooks are difficult to resist. I urge you to adopt a policy that limits Chromebook use in our children's classrooms and places stronger safeguards on the material accessible through school-issued devices. For our youngest students in particular, screen time can also displace physical activity, which is developmentally necessary and supports cognitive growth. I imagine that if we change how we're doing things, we will not be straining our resources, our special education teachers, and the number of IEPs will go down. Knowing what we know today about the effects of excessive screen time in our children, adopting a stricter technology policy would be a step toward progress, not a step backward. As Maya Angelou famously said, do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. I think it's time to do better. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Strackbein. Madam Chair, that concludes this evening's public comment.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next, we have this evening's superintendent's report from Dr. Murray.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have one item this evening. In the spirit of wrapping up another successful school year, the following video highlights just a few of the moments that made the second half of the year so meaningful across Chesterfield County Public Schools. From academic achievements and student celebrations to everyday acts of support and service, these moments reflect the growth and the teamwork that define Chesterfield County Public Schools and highlight a strong finish for the school year. So I want to thank our students, our staff, our families, and our community for a truly incredible year. Enjoy.
Thank you, Dr. Murray. Board members, is there any discussion? It's a ton of cuteness there. Fun year.
I do just want to say
Yes.
that lawnmower scene, I was invited out by Mr. Sheets. And I got out there and I said, this field looks like it has already been mowed. It is the national field of the year. He said, well, we had a game last night and I needed to mow it. And I said, you did that because you knew that I was a liability coming the next day. He said, well, there was some of that as well, so.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Murray. So now the first matter the board will consider under action items is the item moved from the consent agenda earlier this evening, the nomination of Elke Namola for the 2026 Virginia School Board Association Clerk of the Year Award. Madam Clerk, would you please join me at the front of the dais for the reading and presentation of a resolution in support of your nomination.
Resolution nominating Elke Namola for the 2026 VSBA School Board Clerk of the Year Award. Whereas Elke Namola has faithfully served Chesterfield County Public Schools as Executive Assistant and Clerk to the School Board since August 2022, following 5 years of distinguished service as Deputy Clerk, and whereas Mrs. Namola provides exceptional leadership, organization, and continuity in supporting the work of one of Virginia's largest and most dynamic school divisions, ensuring the effective operation of school board meetings, records, and governance processes, and whereas Mrs. Namola's impact reaches far beyond the traditional responsibilities of a school board clerk. She is the organizational backbone of the board and a valued partner to board members, division leadership, staff, and public. And whereas she expertly manages the complex responsibilities of preparing agendas, board packets, minutes, resolutions, legal notices, and official records while ensuring compliance with legal requirements, timelines, and parliamentary procedure. And whereas Mrs. Namola is widely respected for her professionalism, discretion, sound judgment, and servant leadership, consistently approaching every responsibility with calmness, integrity, and extraordinary attention to detail. And whereas her ability to anticipate challenges, coordinate complex public meetings, and support high-profile board operations has contributed to orderly, efficient, and respectful governance, even under demanding circumstances. And whereas Mrs. Namola's collaborative spirit and commitment to public service have earned the trust and appreciation of school board members, division leadership, staff, and the community, as she regularly supports initiatives beyond the direct scope of board operations. And whereas Chesterfield County Public Schools is stronger, more effective, and better organized because of Elke Namola's steadfast leadership, dedication, and service to public education. And whereas Mrs. Namola exemplifies the highest standards of professionalism and excellence in school board governance and is exceptionally deserving of statewide recognition. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Chesterfield County School Board unanimously and enthusiastically nominates Elke Namola for the 2026 Virginia School Board Association School Board Clerk of the Year Award.
So this is a nomination. So we fully anticipate coming back next year, soon, and doing that. But everything, I don't know if you guys caught every single thing that was just read. I had the honor of pulling all these things together, and I asked people, tell me something about Elke. What makes her special? And you know how it's always pulling teeth to get people to give you something back? No, ma'am. It was within hours. I had everything, unbelievable, and well written, and just perfect. And the detail there. that you are that. You embody it. You run this thing the way that this is smoothly run, and it is due to you. And she's precious. So she's precious on top of that. So you are everything that we could ask for. We are so grateful for you, and it is an honor to work with you. You make every day wonderful and precious, and we all love you. So,
Madam Chair, is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Board members, is there any discussion?
okay, all of that I just said.
Mrs. Coker.
Okay, please.
Madam Chair has already started, but I will just echo everything that she said. We could not do this without you. You keep us grounded, organized, somewhat sane. We tried to be, but no, we really could not do this without you. So thank you for everything that you do.
Elke, one of the things that I absolutely just greatly appreciated about you, and what the community may not be aware, and I hope you don't mind that I share this. Unfortunately for Elke, she experienced the loss of her father not that long ago. And even through that, you were still calling board members. You still wanted to make sure that everything we had going on, you knew about and were taken care of. And no matter how many times we told you, Elke, don't worry about it, we got it, focus on your family. And you said, yes, I know, but. And you take your job to heart, and you are exceptionally great at what you do. And I am very thankful for you. I'm thankful for your dedication to this board and what the community doesn't really fully see, that what we see, but they are also extremely grateful to have you behind the scenes, assisting the board members, assisting staff, and making sure that we function. 5 different schedules and personal schedules that you manage flawlessly. So on behalf of the Paranto family, who has greatly benefited from you, thank you so very much for what you do. And this resolution is 100% spot on. And if the VSBA knows what they're doing, this is a no-brainer.
I just want to say it is an honor to work with you, and I think I had no idea how much you did, because you don't do it in the spotlight, but you are constantly keeping us all informed of really important things, and in a really incredibly professional way, and I completely trust you, which is really hard to do, to provide that trust to someone else to manage all the things. And I am just grateful for your wisdom and your institutional knowledge that you bring to this role, to understand how to make all the things work. And you do it well.
So I'm gonna not say all the things. I'm just gonna say that very special woman, very special. It's beyond your job. I think you are personally invested in each of us, and you protect our time. You are like the little guardian over our calendars to make sure, hey, no, Dominique, you can't do that day. There's a track meet. You got to tell them no. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. It's my kid's track meet. And you're making sure that we don't miss moments that we're not supposed to miss. And you do all of that so graciously and gracefully in spite of the things that you are dealing with. Such a selfless person. So this award, where they give it to you or not, as Mr. Paranto said, are stupid. But you will get all the flowers and all the love from us because of how well you take care of us, and we appreciate you. Thanks.
Mr. Roberts, will you please call roll on the motion?
Yes, sir. Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Paranto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion carries. Thank you. Thank you again, Elke. Next, we have memo number 086-26, Mr. Smith.
Board members, as a result of this meeting on May 7, 2026, the Superintendent's Advisory Policy Committee, known as the PRC, recommends revisions to current policies as follows. Revisions to Policy 5235, bereavement leave. School Board Policy 1200 provides that if, quote, if circumstances warrant immediate action on the proposed policy or regulation, the school board may suspend its rules and bring the policy or regulation up for immediate adoption following a first reading, end quote. Therefore, it's recommended the school board suspend its regular rules of policy adoption by waiving a second reading of the policy contained in this memorandum and approved following the first reading. Proposed changes have been reviewed by the school board attorney. I would note very briefly that the policy has essentially two edits. In Section A, number 1, it is changing from 24 hours, 3 days to 40 hours, 5 days per occurrence, as well as an additional sentence there at the end of number 1 as well. If approved per board consideration, this will become effective on July 1, 2027. I would note in your memorandum there is an associated physical impact that's been identified. And Madam Chair, you have 2 recommended actions.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Board members may I have a motion for the board to suspend its rules and waive the second reading.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Board members, is there any discussion? Ms. Chatters. There's been a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call roll on the motion.
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Pronto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Board members, may I have a motion to adopt the policy revision to become effective on July 1st, 2027?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Board members, is there any discussion? Ms. Chatters.
So I just want to thank the Policy Review Committee for going over this document with us and the thoughtful suggestions that were made and appreciated. I also want to thank my board members for consideration of adopting this important policy. For example, in my home personally, during COVID, I lost 3 people in the same year. If I was a CCPS employee, I would have only been able to take the 24 hours of bereavement leave for the first death of my family member. And having to go through that was painful enough to not have to be burdened by how am I going to be able to take care of the things I need to take care of. So I really, truly appreciate the board's support on implementing this. I love the language change, Sean, that the PRC team came up with as a per occurrence versus fiscal year, because unfortunately things happen and we can't control that. I do appreciate Mr. Paranto's suggestion of waiting till we have the funds to be able to support this, and I am appreciative that the board came to a consensus that we can start of 2027 that gives Mr. Meister time to allocate the funds necessary to be able to support our staff during their hardest times of their lives. Thank you.
There has been a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call roll on the motion.
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Pronto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Next, we have memo number 087-26, Mr. Smith.
Madam Chair, board members, staff recommends revisions to policy. I would note for the record, I'm going to read into the record about 48 different policies. These revisions are noted on board docs as well. Revision to policy, Appendix A, Section 19, Discipline. Policy has been updated to reflect House Bill 1301, Senate Bill 122, amended by Virginia Code 22.1-274 and 21-274.01.1 to allow employees to decline to deliver health-related services. Revisions to Policy 1012, School Board's Vision, Mission, and Standards of Quality. Policy updated for clarity and to be broader to account for changes in regulations. Revisions to Policy 1013, Comprehensive Plan, policy updated for clarity and to reflect statute and DOE guidance. Revisions to Policy 1030, Oath, policy updated for clarity and state statutory exemption. Revisions to Policy 1050, School Board Member Conflict of Interest and Disclosure of Economic Interest, renamed, updated to include change in Senate Bill 530, which amended Virginia Code 2.2-3115. Revisions to Policy 1051, School Employee Conflict of Interest, renamed with significant rewrite. Revisions to Policy 1060, Organizational Meeting, minor edit. Revisions to Policy 1070, Regular School Board Meetings, policy updated to be compliant with FOIA. Additional language from Senate Bill 699, which amended Virginia Code 2.2-3707, with new restrictions on amending agendas, language added for clarity. Revisions to Policy 1082, Electronic Participation in Meetings from Remote Locations, policy updated for clarity. Revisions to Policy 2130, Reviewed, Adoption and Review Administrative Procedures, reviewed with no changes. Revisions to Policy 2159, School Year, School Day, policy updated to reflect change in Senate Bill 815-House Bill 1455. Revisions to Policy 3012, Character Education, policy updated to reflect administrative changes. Revisions to Policy 3014, Class Size Limitations, policy updated for clarity. Draft New Policy 3015, College Board School Day Program, new policy to reflect requirement in House Bill 410, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-79.10 that requires SAT/College Day Program. Draft New Policy 3045, Academic Planning and Course Selection, new policy to reflect Senate Bill 817, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-79.3:2. Revisions to Policy 3050, Alternative Instructional Options, policy revised updated language to reflect change in regulations, updated legal references to reflect updated regulatory citations. Revisions to Policy 3131, Threat Assessment Teams, policy updated to add new training requirement for House Bill 1071, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-79.4, change language more in line with statute and for clarity. Revisions to Policy 4010-R, Standards for Student Conduct, added changes pursuant to Senate Bill 108, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-79.3:1. Revisions to Policy 4020, Attendance, policy updated for new requirement from House Bill 653, which amended Virginia Code 20.1-254. New provision allows for excused absences for military dependents in certain situations. Additional edits made for clarity. Revisions to Policy 4070, Extracurricular Activities, policy updated to reflect new requirement from Senate Bill 245, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-79.3:2. Draft New Policy 4103, Financial Aid Information and Guidance for High School Students. New requirement added by House Bill 1095, which added Virginia Code 22.1-206.4. Revisions to Policy 4130, Administration of Medication Students. Policy updated to add requirements from Senate Bill 122-House Bill 1301 that added Virginia Code 22.1-274 and 22.1-274.01.1 and add Virginia Code 22.1-274.01.2, updated to provide definition of epinephrine, not just auto-injectable epinephrine. Revision to Policy 4130-R, Procedures for Administration of Medication Students. Policy updated to add requirements of Senate Bill 122-House Bill 1301 that added Virginia Code 22.1-274 and 22.1-274.01.1 and added Virginia Code 22.1-274.01.2, updated for broader definition of epinephrine, not just auto-injectable epinephrine. Revisions to Policy 4133, Serving Students with Serious Health Conditions. Policy updated to add new school nurse training requirement from Senate Bill 822-House Bill 1446 and added Virginia Code 22.1-274.9. Revisions to Policy 4134, Administration of Non-Student-Specific Epinephrine. Policy updated to broaden the definition of epinephrine and not just auto-injectable epinephrine. Revisions to Policy 4137, Student-Athlete Sudden Cardiac Arrest. Policy updated for administrative change. Revisions to Policy 4140, Corporal Punishment. Policy updated for clarity, legal references updated. Revisions to Policy 4150, Physical Restraint and Seclusion of Students. Policy reviewed with no changes. Revisions to Policy 4170-R, Section 504/Americans with Disabilities Act, Dispute Resolution Procedures for Students. Mailing address updated. Revisions to Policy 4180, School Counseling Program. Policy updated to reflect employment counseling and placement services. Draft New Policy 4210, Administration of Surveys and Questionnaire. New policy to reflect requirements for federal and state law. Revisions to Policy 5031, Child Abuse and Neglect Reporting. Added language in House Bill 1414, which amended Virginia Code 63.2-1509, adding certain personnel to the list of mandatory reporters. Made additional clarifications. Revisions to Policy 5090, Professional Staff Probationary Term, Continuing Contract. Policy update to reflect House Bill 125, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-304 to make a change in notification requirements. Revisions to Policy 5171, Evaluation of Professional Staff. Policy updated to add language consistent with statute. Deleted certain languages removed from statute. Updated BOE information. Revisions to Policy 5191, Professional Staff Development. Policy revert by clarity, added requirements of House Bill 38, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-298.6, added requirements for mental health awareness training, added language consistent with statutes, updated for clarity. Revisions to Policy 5300, long-term leave of absence without pay. Policy updated to add new requirement for House Bill 139, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-296. Revisions to Policy 5440, employee suspensions. Policy language clarified in accordance with House Bill 849, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-315. Revisions to Policy 6100-R, political activities. Policy updated for clarity, legal references updated. Revisions to Policy 6133, sex offender crimes against minors, registry information. Policy revised, legal references updated. Revisions to Policy 6137, parental rights and responsibilities. Policy revised to closely mirror statutory language. Add a new requirement for Senate Bill 817, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-79.3:2. Draft new policy 6138, parental notification of safe storage of prescription drugs and firearms. New requirement for Senate Bill 109, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-79.3. Revisions to Policy 6142, public conduct on school property. Policy revised to closely mirror statutory language. Revisions to Policy 6144, service animals in public schools. Policy updated to add additional language added pursuant to House Bill 1336, which amended Virginia Code 51.5-40.1 to define, quote, 3-unit service dog team, end quote. Revisions to Policy 7010, federal child nutrition programs. Policy updated to add requirements from House Bill 210, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-79.7 to add a requirement for annual reporting of school meal debt, substantially revised to reflect current practice. Policy 7200, reviewed. Reproduction of copyrighted material, reviewed with no changes. Policy 7230, reviewed. Acceptable use, the CCPS-net, reviewed with no changes. Revisions to Policy 7230-R, acceptable use, the CCPS-net. Added language to House Bill 171, which amended Virginia Code 22.1-70.2, added new requirements on internet safety. And revisions to Policy 7233, acceptance of electronic signatures and records, administrative changes. School Board Policy 1200 provides that, quote, if circumstances warrant immediate action on proposed policy regulation, the school board may suspend its rules and bring the policy or regulation up for immediate adoption following a first reading, end quote. Therefore, it's recommended the school board suspend its regular rules of policy adoption by waiving a second reading of the policy contained in this memorandum and approve following the first reading. Proposed changes have been reviewed by the Office of the School Board Attorney. Madam Chair, you have 2 recommended actions.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Board members, may I have a motion for the board to suspend its rules and waive second reading?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Board members, is there any discussion? There's been a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call roll on the motion.
Ann Coker.
Aye.
Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Board members, may I have a motion to adopt the policy revisions to become effective June 30th, 2026?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Board members, is there any discussion? There's been a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call roll on the motion.
Ann Coker.
Aye.
Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Next, we have memo number 088-26. Mr. Smith.
Madam Chair, board members, as a result of this meeting on May 7, 2026, the Superintendent's Advisory Policy Review Committee, PRC, recommends a new policy as follows. Draft new policy 2165, limited remote work. School Board Policy 1200 provides that, quote, if circumstances warrant immediate action on the proposed policy regulation, the school board may suspend its rules and bring the policy or regulation up for immediate adoption following a first reading, end quote. Therefore, it's recommended the school board suspend its regular rules of policy adoption, waiving a second reading of the policy contained in the memorandum and approve following the first reading. Proposed changes have been reviewed by the school board attorney. If approved, this revision will become effective immediately. I would note this is a new policy for the board's consideration with regard to limited remote work. A couple of things just to kind of walk through extremely briefly here. One, you have kind of the overarching piece here. I think the school division is recognized in limited circumstances. Obviously, this is a benefit that would benefit the school division as itself. You have in Section A definitions that go through assigned work site, limited remote work. It does articulate by nature of certain positions, the following types of employees may not normally be eligible for limited remote work. It does discuss alternate work locations, discusses circumstances that may warrant limited remote work, and then the Section D discusses guidelines for limited remote work. And then ultimately, Section E discusses technology requirements for remote work. Madam Chair, you have 2 recommended actions.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Board members, may I have a motion for the board to suspend its rules and waive second reading?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Board members, is there any discussion? There's been a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call roll on the motion.
Ann Coker. Aye. Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Board members, may I have a motion to adopt the policy to become effective immediately?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Board members, is there any discussion? There's been a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call roll on the motion.
Ann Coker.
Aye.
Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Next, we have memo number 089-26 from Mr. Meister.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Dr. Murray. Appreciate the opportunity to share memo 089-26 with you this evening. You will note this is the subject for the FY26 year-end funds. The bulk of the discussion and memo content is attached in Attachment B, Schedules A through C, as summarized here. At Schedule A speaks to appropriation changes, which includes a 6.9 increase to revenue for the state bonus that was funded out of their FY26 caboose budget. On the expense side, appropriation of the same 6.9 million of that state bonus, as well as a shift of $2 million from the instructional appropriation category to operations and $200,000 from instruction to technology. Also, Schedule B is the year-end usage. Through our mid-year process, we've looking at a predicted 8.3 million in savings at the end of the year, stemming from about 8.8 million expense reduction and offset by about $500,000 of revenue reduction. Our proposed allocation is for 7 million of that to go to support the FY27 budget starting position, and the remaining 1.3 to be reserved for future school needs, whether that be budget needs, including bonus or debt service going forward. And finally, Schedule C speaks to the FY26 reserve list. Back to that state bonus again. We must carry over that 6.9 state SOQ bonus funding from the state that Ms. Chatters we did receive yesterday. And that funds will be carried over to FY27, which is when our plan is to pay said bonus, as well as 8.9 million for additional budgeted operations per standard FY27 processes. You'll also notice a resolution to the Board of Supervisors with the same as part of this memo. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Madam Chair, for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Meister. Board members, may I have a motion to approve memo number 089-26 as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Board members, is there any discussion? Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call roll on the motion.
Ann Coker.
Aye.
Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Next, we have items for board review. Madam Clerk, would you please read the items for this evening?
Madam Chair, tonight's agenda includes the following items for the board review. Number 1, Magisterial District Improvement Funds, FY 2026. Number 2, Budget Change Request Summary across categories, April 2026. Number 3, memo number 090-26, Projected Financial Summary of Participants Entering the Supplemental Retirement Program, also known as SRP. Number 4, Gifted Education Advisory Committee Annual Report for 2025-26. Number 5, Board Committee Reports. And number 6, Pre-K Update, April 2026.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next, we have this evening's superintendent's report marks. Dr. Murray.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Only a few items this evening, but I want to start with the young man from Midlow Middle, Will. Kind of hope he's watching from home. I had the chance to talk with Will beforehand. A very impressive young man, as you got to see. Very sharp, very articulate. And one of the things I complimented him on was his self-advocacy, because even prior to coming here, his self-advocacy has led to some work that has already occurred at Midlothian Middle School, appreciating not just his circumstance, but the circumstances of others who have come before him at that site and will certainly come after him until we can get into our new Midlothian Middle School home. So I talked with Will on the way out and highlighted again the importance of advocating for himself and kids like him, because he mentioned a cafeteria table, which is a no-brainer. I said, send me a picture of what the one looks like that you want, and we're going to buy it, and he'll have it before the start of next school year. So it's little conversations that come from courageous moments that lead to impactful tide turning. So just want to shout Will out. I also want to thank all of our speakers, but in particular, I want to thank the folks who came out and advocated for a topic that, you know, is work that we're already working toward in Chesterfield County Public Schools. So had the wonderful opportunity to meet with Ms. Rhodes last week. I agreed with a lot of what she had to share. She had the receipts to back it up and the research, as well as you know, a host of other parents that want to see greater balance in our classrooms. And I couldn't agree more. And in fact, some of what we discussed was that that is an expectation, albeit a more informal one, that we are not giving up the tangible moments for digital replacement. If technology is not enhancing and furthering what the tangible cannot do, then we shouldn't be substituting the tangible for a digital replacement. And so we have a work group that meets, we'll be meeting early next week to continue to peel this onion back and to see what we can employ here in Chesterfield County very soon. So we look forward to that. But we also, we pride ourselves on following the data and following the research. And so this is not a different time than all those others. I also, you know, want to acknowledge, as we turn the page on this school year, Bellwood still has another day and a half. I want to commend our staff, our students, and our families, as well as our faith and business partners, our mentor groups, and our volunteers on a wonderful school year. 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, we were shaking the hands of over 4,000 graduates. And that's not just a high school effort, that is a pre-K-12 effort. And so I just want to thank our amazing staff, top to bottom, and everywhere in between, who made that pinnacle K-12 or pre-K-12 moment possible for over 4,000 students and their families. And then lastly, I want to give a special shout out, and I look forward to bringing her to a board meeting as we kick off our next school year. There's a very special fifth grader at Curtis Elementary School. Her name's Karina. And what makes her remarkable is her bus driver, and this was a full bus, was experiencing a medical emergency. And Karina noticed this and went to the driver and engaged her, and then took the radio. And our transportation department will tell you they thought they were talking to another adult who had arrived on site. And Karina, single-handedly or single-voicedly, however you want to describe it, controlled what should have been chaos and provided very steady calm. So I'm very excited about what that means for our future, that we have fifth graders that are stepping up, saving lives, not just of the driver, but of the other 45. And I just want to end on, such a euphoric high. So that's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Murray. Next, we have announcements, communications, and school board comments. School board members, are there any announcements or comments? Ms. Chatters.
I wanted to echo what Dr. Murray said about our student speaker, Will. So I'm glad you had a chance to talk to him. Anytime a student comes before us, we know how daunting and scary it could be, and he handled himself with composure and grace. And I appreciate anyone who wants to advocate for themselves. For the parents that came speaking about the technology, I don't know if you were hearing the whispers, but the conversations are being had and what we can do about it. As a mom of 4 with 2 elementary and 2 high schoolers, I understand my kindergartner. I would say that the way Chromebooks are used is not uniform across the district, and that's probably part of the problem because I didn't have the same experiences that you were describing. And so I'm glad that Dr. Murray and his team are going to look at it to bring us more closer to what we should be doing based on the data that you provided. But thank you all for the work you did. As a PTA president, I know that gathering all those signatures and getting buy-in and consensus from everyone was not easy, and I appreciate the work that went into getting all that together. And then finally, just to the class of 2026 for Meadowbrook High School and Byrd, you guys did a great job. Thank you for conducting yourselves with grace and decorum and showing what Chesterfield is really all about. It was a great graduation ceremony, 0 incidents, and I appreciate how everyone carried themselves and were supportive of each other. They were hooping and hollering for each other as their classmates' names were called, and it was really heartwarming to see. So congratulations to all of them.
Mr. Pronto.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also commend Will for coming up and speaking this evening. As a special education advocate and a parent of a special education student, I understand the importance of making sure that the aids that are needed are accessible at all times. And when in the Matoka district, I've been made aware of this. I have had extensive conversation with staff, and to staff's credit, they have jumped on those and made those changes rather quickly to ensure that our students are included and feel included, not just let's build a ramp, for example, but it's the why behind it to make sure that they can be on stage with their classmates and not down on the floor because we can't get the wheelchair up on the stage. So I greatly appreciate Dr. Murray and the chiefs and staff that take this seriously. There was a comment made tonight that really bothered me and I understand the frustration. I do. I understand. But a comment was made. A parent had said in talking with someone else that coming up and talking to us was pointless. And I don't know about anyone else. I take notes. Everyone that comes up and talks, I take notes because I want to go back and read what I wrote and understand what that speaker was talking about by the notes that I took and the things that stood out to me. The conversation from Will does not fall on deaf ears, as Dr. Murray alluded to. The conversation from our parents in regards to technology and there was a parent who said that they were concerned about sending their kids to Chesterfield County Public Schools because of the technology, and they want to go a private school route. It's their right to do as they deem fit for their student. But we take a lot of pride in Chesterfield County Public Schools. Do we get everything right? We do not. But I can tell you in the coming on 3 years now of being on this board and the staff that I have come to know and work alongside, they are extremely diligent in working on behalf of the community. And it may not be seen or understood or appreciated to a certain extent. And I'm not up here to defend anybody because we all have our opinions and our experiences, and rightfully so. But I just want to be clear that when you do come to the podium and talk, and I'm not going to speak for any other board member, I'll speak for myself, you're not talking to someone who's not listening. and who is not wanting to shy away from whatever the subject might be. And so I greatly appreciate every speaker that comes up. And for those that feel as though it's pointless, I would just ask them then reach out, one-on-one, and let's have a conversation, because I would out of essence of time for all the other speakers, there are some things I'd love to get more in depth with, right on the spot, to not lose that momentum. But appreciating the public setting that we're in, I am always open for constituents to reach out and have one-on-one conversations. So please do so. And congratulations to all of our graduates. It was exciting to be a part of their experience as they walked across the stage and across that finish line. And as I said in my speech, this is not the end. This is just the beginning of what life has for them. And I firmly believe that we have equipped them as best as we can, from our kindergarten teachers all the way up to their senior class advisors and counselors and principals and everyone that has supported them along their journey, and wish them well. And I hope that they come back if they want to be educators and reinvest back into our school system, because where we live is a great place to be. And we just need to work on the things that we don't get right all the time. And I greatly appreciate this board that acknowledges that and works to head in that direction. Thank you.
Ms. Coker.
I won't say all the things my colleagues have already said regarding the speakers tonight, but again, thank you for everybody who has come out to speak. I just want to speak to all of our students. Congratulations on a successful end of whatever year you are in CCPS, and have a safe and relaxing summer. And that goes to all staff and my colleagues as well.
So I am not going to repeat what my colleagues said, although they took everything that I had to say. But the comment that was made about it's going to fall on deaf ears, I've been in situations where I've felt that, and you feel like I can give people all of this mountain of evidence and no one's going to do anything. That's one of the reasons that we are up here. Well, let me speak for myself. That's one of the reasons I'm up here. And so the speakers, particularly about the technology, I've read those books. I know what you're saying. I have heard the parents, and we hear and we know, and we are moving. And so we truly appreciate you guys. Here's the thing. You guys get up and you're speaking, and it does take courage and it does take preparation. And you say these things and we're hearing them. You don't know what we do and don't know, or how we're acting, right? But you also don't know who else is listening in the community. And so let's say we start making some shifts, then the community has heard you guys and they're like, oh yeah, I heard, right? So it takes all of us to move this very big ship that is Chesterfield County Public Schools. And so for that, we are immensely grateful that you have taken the time to come to speak, to do the research, and to have the heart for all of our kids. We really, really appreciate that. So for the little student, Will, my gosh, he was adorable, so articulate. So what I loved in particular about him was he was saying, hey, we could have these changes, but there was no judgment, no yuckiness to him. It was just precious. I could see his sweetness and his intellect, and I really appreciated the spirit with which he presented himself. And his mother was the same, and it spoke to me, and I really appreciated that. Also, congratulations to everybody. You made it through the year. Yes, it was great. We're happy summer. Congrats to all our graduates, and okay, we're all set. Okay. The school board will hold a summer work session in the county public meeting room at 12 p.m. on Tuesday, August 11th, 2026, followed by a business meeting at 6:30 p.m. If there's no further business, we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
With throw a pin.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. Motion carries. June 2nd, 2026 School Board Business Meeting is adjourned.